Welcome to the motherfucking lady. We're covering today's top boxing news.
Okay, we'll start with this. Michaela Mayer declares Chantel Cameron unification bout in Birmingham will be the female fight of the year. Michaela Mayer has promised her world super welterweight title unification bout against Cameron will be the female fight of the year. British world champion Cameron faces American Mayer at the BP Pulse Live Arena in Birmingham on August 29th. Live on Sky Sports with every bout on the MVPW06 main card, pitting a UK fighter against a US fighter. Unified WBC and WBO lightweight world champion Carolyn Dubois and 3-weight world champion Terry Harper also feature on the show, but Mayer believes she and Cameron will deliver a main event fight for the ages, with all 3 world titles on the line in their 10-round bout. No 10 threes or 12 threes for this one, huh? MVP over time have become the biggest proponents of 3-minute rounds in a women's boxing match over the years, but this fight doesn't appear to be for 3-minute rounds. It's too bad, because it might have actually been a good idea, at least for this fight, at least for these fighters, Michaela Mayer, Chantel Cameron, who both have a mean streak. You gotta look at it on a case-by-case basis, because 3-minute rounds in a women's boxing match often receive mixed reviews. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It all depends on the fighters. We know how great this fight is because we made it, Mayer said at MVPW06 press conference. It's a fight we've both always wanted, a fight that will help grow and develop women's boxing, a fight that we need. We've both had amazing careers as pros and amateurs. We're older and wiser now, and we know what works and what doesn't for us, the 36-year-old added. We're at a very similar stage in our careers and are getting each other in our primes. We're both still very strong and dominant, so there is just no way this won't be an action-packed fight. I'm predicting female fight of the year, 100%. I don't see anyone else who can top this. Considering our styles, there is no avoiding, standing, and trading. We like to come forward and let our hands go, but we're smart enough to know we can't bang it out the whole time. There will be a lot more high-level boxing than that. Mayer said she was gearing up to reach a new level of performance, adding, I'm confident in myself. I'm not going to make it close. I'm that confident in my skills right now. People think you cannot get better at this age, that you plateau, or that you're as good as you're going to get, but that is not the case with me. I've made a lot of changes in my camp, brought fresh eyes in, and I'm getting better, stronger, and smarter every day. I feel better now than when I was 26. I'm excited to go out there and show you another level. So why should we take Michaela Mayer at her word that now in her mid-30s, she continues to improve? How do we know this isn't the usual claptrap that you hear ahead of a big fight? And it's because of where she's fighting, the weight. Michaela Mayer, for her statuesque frame, spent a good number of years, a good portion of her career, fighting as a super featherweight. And perhaps she was struggling more than she realized to get down there, because now at welter and junior middle, she's a lot stronger, punches a lot harder, lands with more authority, all of which lends itself to her aggressive style. Not leaving as much of herself in the gym in preparation for a fight to make weight, arriving on the night invigorated, energized. Mayer's 2 career defeats to Alicia Baumgartner in 2022 and Natasha Jonas in 2024 came on British soil, but her affinity with the UK remains unwavered. I won't let things that happened in the past scar me or make me fearful of taking on big challenges in the future, she said. I've always loved the UK crowd. I'm like an adopted Brit. I'm 73% British. Every single time I fought in the UK, the energy has been unmatched. You're energetic, and that pumps me up. I'm a different breed. The 35-year-old Chantel Cameron won the WBO junior middleweight title, a belt Mayer had vacated just months after beating Mary Spencer for it, with a dominant win over Michaela Kotoskova in April. Now Mayer is looking to reclaim the belt and unify the division alongside her WBA and WBC titles, but Cameron believes she is more than capable of rising to the occasion. Asked why she was backing herself to come out on top, Cameron said, "My mindset, I'm a different breed. The tougher the challenge, the better I am. I know Michaela is a tough test, but that will bring the best out of me. I shine when I have opponents like that in front of me. I think I'm unstoppable." I think where the fight is taking place suits Michaela a bit more than Chantel, who's a bit shorter, stumpier, stockier. Michaela carries that weight a little bit better than Chantel. For Chantel, I actually think it's slowing her down. And it's been a long time since Chantel Cameron really wowed me with a performance. She's been doing a lot of bouncing around over the years from trainer to trainer. Currently, she's back with Nigel Travis and Jamie Moore. There's got to be a reason for that. Following the loss to Katie Taylor in their rematch, she decided to part ways with them, try out 2 new trainers, different ones, but now she's back with them. And what that communicates to me is instability. That you keep bouncing around like this from trainer to trainer, even if you are back with them. Well, you never should have left if you were just going to go back. I think Michaela's going to win. I think comparatively, Michaela's been looking better, stronger, and sharper fight by fight, whereas Chantel has sort of regressed and plateaued. Michaela, being the taller, longer fighter, she's got the option to bang in the booth, but also the option to put distance between herself and Chantel, who's shorter and has to be close to Michaela to touch her. Michaela can fight a better version of the fight that Chantel is going to try to fight, because they both like to box and bang, but I think Michaela is better at it. I think she wins a decision. Even though Chantel's got home field advantage, I believe that Michaela will create enough separation, clearly enough, between her and Chantel that she will win on points in the UK. Look for that next month.
Look, man, listen to me. I'm not that smart, okay? I'm just not. I'm gonna keep it a fucking buck. I barely passed high school, went to college a couple of years, you know what I'm saying, and dropped out of that shit because I knew I wasn't gonna get no degree. I know I wasn't gonna get no damn degree, okay? You know what I'm saying? But I can read people. I do that shit real good. I can read people real well, man, and I'm looking at this shit, I hear, I see Nico Ali Walsh, on Zuffa Boxing, being interviewed and all that shit, and, sitting down with Nick Khan and, the execs of TKO and all of that shit, you know what I'm saying? Supposedly trying to get revised, trying to get his 2 cents on the whole Ali Act. Then I see, him, Amir, his manager, or whoever the hell it might be his manager, I think it is, and himself, Nico Ali Walsh, on Sean Satel's show, and they saying that, like, you know what I mean, they wanted to sit down and try to hash some things out. I'm like, shouldn't that shit have been done already? Shouldn't y'all should have been sat down with them a long time ago, but now you want to get on the TV and make it a big deal and so on and so forth. And it's crazy because Sean Satel had a big ass point. He had a big ass point, huge point, And then Amir is saying that, like, to Satel's point was like, damn, why you basking with the opponent? You basking with the opponent, right? Like, y'all supposed to be fighting this thing, like, y'all giving them power. That's what y'all doing, And then Amir gonna come at Sean Satel like, you don't know what you talking about. You know what I'm saying? Talking about you having conversations on a daily basis with the Senate. That's bullshit. That's bull. Daily conversation with the Senate. That's bullshit. No, you're not. Stop playing with me. And then you're gonna say on Sean Satel, Amir, that we know it's going to pass already, but we trying to, put in small stipulations, and trying to, revise it, and, it's going to pass, but maybe not the way that they want it to. You know what I'm saying? Y'all going to say that shit. Man, listen to me, man. Yeah, listen to me, people. I know this play right here. You know what I'm saying? They already waving the white flag. They know they lost already. So what they trying to do is they trying to obtain some shit. That's what they trying to do. That's what they trying to obtain some shit. Straight up. They trying to get in where they fit in. That's what they trying to do. If it's some money, if it's some kickback, if it's something, they trying to get something, yo. Y'all think y'all smart. Y'all think y'all, man, look, I'm not, hey, like I told y'all, I'm not that smart. I heard, y'all on that channel, on Chantel channall, all y'all geeks up there, y'all saying all these big words and shit. I got a dictionary out, or I might have to look it up on my phone and shit to see what y'all talking about. But damn it, I'm not stupid.
No, you're not, Timothy, because the true measure of acumen has never really been a college education. All that gauges is your ability to remember and recite information you acquire, though understanding it
and applying it.
Application has always been the true measure of intelligence. It's a well-understood principle on my home planet of Krypton.
To achieve a desired outcome.
Taking whatever it is you do know, however big or small, to get at something. So if what we're trying to get at here is the truth, then you see what I see. You understand what I understood.
They're waving a white flag.
There are a lot of college-educated kids out there running around with useless degrees they can't make 1 red cent from, getting themselves in debt the whole time and turning to activism as a profession. Professional outrage.
Like what you see from Nico?
Whenever some teen or some tween decides to dye their hair the same color as a crayon and vandalize a valuable piece of art in the name of whatever cause they claim to be fighting for, they're only doing so because they're not good at anything else. If they were, then they'd be doing that. So ask yourself, if Nico Ali Walsh were the same caliber of fighter as an Abdullah Mason or a Shakur Stevenson,
do you think that he would have the time to dedicate to this quote-unquote cause?
if he had the skills to pay the bills, to be earning what a Devin Haney is earning, do you really think that he'd be doing this, or do you think he'd be doing what they're doing, advancing in their careers and making vast sums of cash? No, the truth about Nico,
the Nepo baby,
is this is just another veiled effort to capitalize from his surname.
Look at me, I'm fighting for the rights of other people like my granddad.
Supposedly fighting the good fight that no one asked him to fight because no one needs him to fight it. If this is about the fighters and what's best for them, they're the ones making the decision to go into business with Zuffa, which we've already covered. For the life-altering money they're offering, they're doing what's best for them because they still have that choice and they were never robbed of it.
So you're not the one that can give it back to them, but that's not going to stop you from pretending to be
The hero of the story, with all of your moral authority, the savior.
You break.
I've seen him make a couple of appearances the last 2 or 3 days on the latest Zuffa boxing card and on Ariel Helwani's podcast, as well as Sean Zattel's, wearing franchise merchandise.
What do you mean?
He's got a butterfly chain. I think there's a little bee on there too. He also had a butterfly on his t-shirt, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Gee, I wonder where he got that from. But I never saw Alexander Skarsgård running around with a picture of his father on his t-shirt, Stellan Skarsgård.
Same way Nico does with his granddad?
Because Alex, in spite of being a Nepo baby like Nico, is actually good at something. He's good at acting, where Nico
There's no nice way for me to say this.
is not good at fighting, at least not as good as his grandfather was. So you can't really fill that void, fill those shoes, so you try to fight some other kind of fight.
Because if you could fight at the level that your grandfather fought, you wouldn't be wasting your time with this
Bullshit.
exercise in futility. In the end, the bill's gonna get passed anyway, the Muhammad Ali Revival Act.
Because in the end, you, like every other activist out there, is only turning to activism to ingratiate yourself.
Your ego.
The fighters don't need you to do this, because if they did, they would have been there alongside you in Washington, but they weren't. They're capitalizing off this opportunity because that's what it is, an opportunity.
You only presume to be quote-unquote fighting for them because you can't really fight for yourself. To get at a world title, to compete at the highest levels of the sport, to walk in the shoes of your grandfather, there's no nice way for me to say that, but it's the truth.
And the people at ESPN, while you were there, spent enough time reminding us of who your grandfather is that it's stuck in my memory.
So let's just be honest about things.
You're waving a white flag because you know you can't stop the big machine. Not that anybody ever needed you to. You may think that you present as self-sacrificing to others, but to me and to Timothy Bradley, what do we see?
He sees you waving a white flag.
I see a young man still searching for his own identity and looking to his lineage in pursuit of answers. But you're not your grandfather, and this is not philanthropy.
It's free market capitalism.
Which is what makes it possible for fighters to make vast sums of cash.
Fucking love capitalism.
Men's welterweight news, the $12 million math problem behind Devin Haney versus Keyshawn Davis.
Back to the money.
Back to what matters. Rumors circulating on X claim Keyshawn Davis turned down a guaranteed $3 million to fight Devin Haney before negotiations ended, and the WBO ordered a purse bid. The figure remains unconfirmed, yet it has already sparked one question. Has Davis reached the point where promoters should value him as a $3 million fighter? If the rumor proves accurate, the financial math becomes difficult to ignore. Under the WBO's 75-25 purse split, Davis would need a winning bid of roughly $12 million just to receive a $3 million payday. A higher bid would increase his earnings, but it would also require a promoter to invest enormous money in a fight that still carries commercial uncertainty.
Let me tell you right here and right now, I don't think that's a $12 million fight. To put the whole thing together for Keyshawn, for Devin, I don't think you should have to spend more than maybe $7 or $8 million.
Top Rank now faces a difficult decision. Promoters do not bid based strictly on talent. They bid on expected revenue. Every dollar committed to the purse has to be justified by ticket sales, sponsorships, media rights, and pay-per-view buys. Devin Haney reportedly earned around $10 million for his fight with Jose Ramirez and has been linked to a purse near $12 million for his bout against Brian Norman Jr.
None of which Devin Haney is actually worth, commercially, so how did he get it? Turkey overpaid him.
Those figures establish an expensive starting point for any purse bid against Davis. The real question is whether Haney versus Davis generates enough business to justify a bid in the $12 million range. Davis is one of the top young talents in the sport, but he has yet to prove himself as a major ticket seller. His professional resume remains short. He spent years campaigning at lightweight before moving briefly to welter, and he maintains a lower profile than many of his peers, while fighters like Ryan Garcia have used social media to build a massive audience beyond core boxing fans. Keyshawn has largely allowed his performances to build his reputation. Success inside the ring does not automatically translate into commercial success. Promoters still have to determine how many fans are willing to pay to watch Davis.
Yeah, but they have to make that same determination when it comes to Devin, too.
His long-running rivalry with Andy Cruz presents another consideration. The Cuban-born Cruz defeated Keyshawn multiple times in the amateurs, including the Olympic gold medal bout, yet the professional rematch has never materialized. Some fans still view that unfinished business as an important chapter in Davis's career, while others have moved on. If the $3 million rumor proves unfounded, the discussion ends there. If it turns out to be true, however, Keyshawn and his team are signaling that they believe his market value is substantially higher than anything he's earned so far. The purse bid may provide the first real indication of whether the boxing business agrees.
That's at least according to Dan Ambrose, who places a lot of emphasis on Keyshawn Davis's role in all of this when he's not the expensive one. Devin is.
It's all well and good that you were able to make $10 million here and $12 million there because somebody was willing to overpay you, but that is not an accurate reflection of your market value.
More a reflection of Turkey's generosity.
So the purse bid ordered is intended to give us finality on the situation. Whatever the bid is whatever the bid is. And whoever decides to walk away,
You either lose your spot in the rankings, or, if you're Devin, you lose your belt. It's that simple, or it should be.
to me personally, this is not a $12 million fight. That should hardly be the starting point for not one, but two guys who really don't draw all that much.
Projected operational costs should always be moderate, so you leave yourself room to start making money. But if you start at a high point like $12 million, you'll be lucky if you can break even.
So blame the fighters and their inflated purse demands for that, because that's what that is.